Hey everyone! Today's video is packed with some seriously shocking details about Diddy and some major celebrities caught up in crazy allegations. Here's what went down in this exclusive interview with Andria, one of Diddy's accusers on the Lionel B Show podcast. You won't believe what she had to say. Let's dive in. The accuser, Andria English, a dancer and former adult film star, claims to have the juice on prominent people. She hints at a shocking background of alleged abuse and manipulation. She begins by describing her relationship with a model named Anthony, explaining their move to New York and interactions with the modeling industry and celebrities like Cassie. English shares details about being involved in exclusive parties and recounts Diddy's inappropriate advances toward her partner, which left her deeply disturbed. She gets into the nitty-gritty.
Never been on the East Coast in my entire life. I had never been to Florida. I had never been to New York, nowhere on the East Coast. And a guy I was dating, Anthony Gallo, he's from Cali. We were both from Cali. He got an opportunity. He got scouted by a guy in LA who was a reputable scouting agent. It was initially Wilhelmina Models. And so they gave him the opportunity to come to New York for an audition. When he went out there, he ended up getting a lot of callbacks, but he was back in LA. And they said, well, you know, you're getting all these callbacks, but if you're going to model for real, we need you out here. So he had never been on the East Coast either. So he was like, and at this time, my family had found out that I had did adult movies. Now, mind you, I had an ex-boyfriend, Jake Steed. He was my boyfriend at first, and he manipulated me into the adult film industry. I only did 8 movies in a 6-month period of my life in the year 1999, but those 8 movies in 6 months follow me to this day. And I signed a residual contract, and Jake Steve been collecting all the money. He done put me on that. So when Anthony got scouted, we ended up, my family had found some member of our church, my church from 9 years old had found out I did adult movies. They brought it to the minister, who brought it to my parents. And when I came home from work, I was working as a telemetry technician in the critical care unit at Hoag Hospital in Newport Beach. And when I came home from my shift, my parents had it on the big screen. Me with a it in my mouth.
Screen.
It was the worst day of my life. I still feel the memory, and it haunts me the same way Diddy haunts me to this day. I can still remember the way I felt, how my parents looked at me, you know. And then so when Anthony got the opportunity to move to New York, I was like, man, hell yeah, because I did the movies in 99, but they didn't find out till 2004. And that was the same time Anthony got asked to move to New York. So I said, man, I'm going with you. And then when we got out there, Anthony was going to go see whatever. He ended up getting an audition with Ford Models, and then Ford signed him. That was Cassie Ventura's same agency. And so we were from Cali, and we had an apartment in the middle of Manhattan. So all the models in between their go-sees and their auditions would come hang out at our apartment. And we had the weed, and that's when weed was hella illegal. So we was from Cali, we had the weed, Anthony looked good. I was working at Larry Flynt's Hustler Club, so I was already the hottest stripper because Manhattan is only 11 miles, about 13 miles. I'm from Cali, the West Coast. All the East Coast people grew up. Fast forward, Anthony ends up getting called to audition for Diddy for the Sean John campaign. So he never invites me along to his auditions or his go-sees, but this particular day he invited me because he knew I was a fan. Like, he knew I was going to be mad he went to the damn thing and you didn't take me, you know what I mean? Because I you know, wanted to meet people and stuff. I was already a dancer. I was already moving and shaking. I already had a gang of athletes and whatever, but the music industry, because I rap and sing, that's where I wanted to get into. So, long story short, we sitting in the waiting room, and one of his homeboys that frequents our apartment comes out of the thing, and he's looking mad, like, shh. And so, low-key, me and Anthony laughing. We like, he must not have booked it. Like, he's salty. Like, we laughing to each other, like, you know. And then they called him. And then when they called him, I'm like, yeah, you got this, my nigga. Like, you know, I'm dapping on you. And then that's when 2A Pages was out. So when they called, I flipped my 2A up. So I'm on my 2A lining up some money for later on. All of a sudden, I just hear, man, fuck that. And the door that flew up, and it was, I'm like, what? And like, Anthony is a very good looking guy. His mother is, you know, African American, but in Italian, he wasn't no punk. Like, it wasn't no gay in him, it wasn't no, you know, bitch in him. Like, he was like a thug, but he a pretty boy. So, like, I guess they underestimated him, thinking that because he was so good looking that he go that way. So he was more than offended. He was on some gangster shit. Like, he got me fucked up. So when we were in the elevator, I was like, man, what happened? He was like, man, like, he gave me that look like, man, shut the. And I was like, all right, because it was people in the elevator. So I was like, all right. So when we got, out the elevator, I'm like, what's up? I'm like, why are you tripping? He was like, man, nigga asked me to suck his dick. I said, who asked you to suck his dick? He said, Puffy. It was calling Puffy back then. Puff. And I said, no, he didn't. And it broke my heart, broke her arm. And I was like, nah. And he was like, he asked me to suck his dick. I was like, oh. I was like, well, then I see why, you know what I mean? For sure. Like, it's a wrap. That. He's like, I don't need that job. That's fucking bad. So I was like, for sure. You know what I mean? We got in the cab. We went back to our apartment. His homeboy ended up coming through. We smoked blunts. We laughed at it. We was like, that, you know what I mean? But then, because I was a dancer, I'm also in the regular go-go club scene. And I ran into Tamiko Thomas, who ended up being, I call her a handler, one of Diddy's handlers, wranglers. And she approached me with opportunity to help me and Anthony out. If I would dance at Diddy's white parties, Anthony can go ahead and book the campaign. I agreed to dance at the white parties. Anthony booked the Sean John campaign. He was everywhere. He was on billboards, buses, friend star. And I was currently an exotic dancer. For me, it was regular scheduled programming. Like, it's just what rich people with money do. Like, he tried it. He wanted to see, you know what I mean? To me, it was more funny, but Anthony took more offense. Like, no, like, he got me fucked up. So I had let it go. I was over it. But when they asked me to work the parties, I was like, hell yeah, I would have did that shit damn near for free. You know what I mean? Just for the networking. I was a groupie at that point. And I didn't realize how pretty I was. I didn't realize they looked at me like that. And I extra didn't know that Diddy had gotten word of my former career in the adult entertainment industry that I was manipulated into by an ex-boyfriend that I only did for 6 months out of my life, that I wasn't trying, I didn't have aspirations to be a P-star, none of that. I got manipulated into it so somebody could basically get my residuals and be basically caking off of me the last 20 plus years. I was very sheltered, naive. My parents were from LA, and so they raised me in the suburbs because they didn't want me to experience anything they saw growing up in the hood. And so when I went to Long Beach State and they put me in the co-ed dorms, to the left were the athletes and to the right were the girls who were stripping to get through school because they were all from LA, Compton, and Long Beach. I'm from Chino, California, a little nerdy girl with valedictorian. So when they were stripping to get through college, I kicked it with them. And that's how I ended up with Jake Steed. And he saw the innocence and naiveness in me. He got me to do their movies.
English alleges Diddy manipulated her aspirations as a performer, hiring her as a dancer while reportedly drugging her at events held in his mansion.
When Diddy found out about it, they used that against me, and he viewed me as somebody that was sexually exploited, worthy, and he played on my heart. It's called coercion of the heart. When I told him that I rap and I sang, and he said I was dope, and he said he was gonna bring me and I had a girl group out, like I'm the Beyonce of my group. They even told you that I was the dopest one, and it's called coercion of the heart. And he played on the fact that he knew I liked to rap, sing, and perform, and that's why he would bring me back year after year, saying you're getting closer, like initiation, you're getting closer. But it never happened. But he kept making me, sexually perform while he was wheeling and dealing, and getting jewelry from Jacob the jeweler, cutting a deal with this person, recording me and him over there so he can extort that person out of woo. We all didn't know, but he had a plan the whole time, and that's why he made people sign NDAs that said you can't talk about what we went through until 20 years after I died. But I never signed that. Aubrey O'Day and All Danity Kane and them, they got hit with that. I was already out the game. I was done for 2000. Work as a go-go dancer. They had 3 stages, positioned throughout his mansion. It was where he lived. It was his residence. It wasn't a club. It wasn't a lounge. And so it just makeshift stages, 3 stages set up in his house, like for us to be checkpoints. Like my stage was over by the bar. Tamiko's stage was over by the food. Old girl's checkpoint was over there by the rooms if you wanted to go do something. So it was like, I think he kind of told the guests, hey, if you want to drink, look for, just look for a stage and you're going to find something you need. You know what I mean? So we were elevated above the crowd. And so, but that we were instructed to only drink from certain liquor bottles. It's the girls' champagne, it's the guys' champagne. Girls don't drink the guys' champagne, girls don't drink the boys' champagne. And all the champagne was laced with ketamine, like horse tranquilizer, ecstasy. That's not allegedly. We were all doped up. And to this day, I believe we all, and I know I do, have a chemical imbalance. Like whenever I drink anything, it could be one glass of wine, all of a sudden I'm a stripper, I'm a P-star, like on my mind, I just black out and I'm that. I'm She Diddy.
Oh wow.
You know, Orlando Brown running around like I'm Puff. He not really acting like it to everybody else. Everybody looking like he want attention, like he wilding, like. But it's something about when he drugged you that he stood over you, like infusing himself into you while you laid there unconscious, and it's like it became a part of you. Because after a certain amount, they started calling me She Diddy. They're like, man, she act like Diddy. She just like Diddy. And hence, I've been She Diddy for the last 20 years.
English goes on to recount witnessing disturbing acts involving young individuals at parties, alleging a specific incident involving a minor. Take a listen.
His goal is to take souls to hell. So that's why straight men, he wanted to turn them gay. You know, even if a gay man was gay, he wanted to make him be a pedophile and be with a minor. His thing was to take the soul. So that's why after a certain amount of time, he would make an announcement like, you better go on home because, the party really about to crack now. And all of a sudden, everybody's demon would come out. And that's on God. Like, have you ever gotten, like, so faded or drunk where your body is doing stuff, but in the morning you have literally no recollection? Like, if it ain't from your homeboy showing you it, like, man, I recorded you, nigga. If it wasn't for him showing you, you would swear up and down you didn't do that shit. But then when he show you the video, you like, what the? I jumped in the pool. I don't even know how to swim, my nigga. What? Like, I don't even remember that bitch. Like, what? It was like that.
That's that blackout drink. And
right, but he had
anything.
imagine everybody blacked out though. It doesn't matter if you a celebrity or. That's why J-Lo left the country. He had her sticking bottles and stuff up in my homegirl. She was only 11 years old. She the girl that they put on the private jet. They her with the jelly beans. They put on the private jet. They took her to the studio in New York and then had the nerve to dress her up in a D&G sweater, do her hair, put makeup on her, and take a picture like a trophy. She only 11 years old in that picture, and that's not allegedly. And then the same girl,
J-Lo was messing around with.
Man, there's so many. I drop names on the neck, man. We talking about Diddy right now. But it's, yeah. And then that's the same girl that in the magazine is laying on the table butt naked with fruit and food and stuff off of her. And we all eating off of her. I sucked the strawberry off her. She 14 years old laying on that table. She had a body like a grown woman. You don't think anybody's looking at that thinking that's a kid laying there. You're assuming it's a grown woman. So he made everybody be with a minor, against your will, and he recording the shit. Same girl needed to do a number 2 on stage. She performing. She told him, I need to get off stage. I need you to bathroom. He told her no. She ended up shit on stage. It was a went everywhere. And Denzel Washington grabbed up his wife, mobbed up to Diddy, and was like, man, you don't respect nobody. Had to run up out there. That's the incident they're talking about with Denzel Washington. Had to run up out of there.
So that's why Denzel and his wife left that party, because of that incident.
She shit on stage, and she was only 14 years old. He didn't know she was 14. It was just the fact that she shit on stage and in front of everybody. And then Diddy took her to a room and beat her ass because she shit on stage. Then he would only give her water baths and not let her wash with soap. I'm gonna say allegedly because she's still Jane Doe right now. I'm gonna say allegedly. You know what I mean? It's allegedly. But she wants a DNA on 2 of his kids because they took 2 babies out of her. They kept her locked up and they had her babies at the house. The 2 babies they took out of her stomach. That's not allegedly.
Damn.
And allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly, she had a 3 with Diddy and his own mama / auntie, and she had a 3 with Nelly and Diddy. That's not alleged.
No.
Allegedly. Sorry, Ashanti. I love you, Ashanti. Congratulations on the baby. I love y'all together. It was 20 years ago. Don't get mad at 20. We talking about 20 years ago. Don't get emotional. We just telling our truth, people. Please don't get mad It's some of y'all's favorites. It's gonna kill y'all. It's gonna devastate y'all when you hear the names involved, because we all grew up on these people. We all love these people. We'd have never thought these people would have been involved in the things that they're involved in. We're just telling our truths, everybody, and it was 20 years ago. So please don't judge us or say we lying. We're being nice enough to let y'all know what's going on from an insider point of view. If you were not even there, don't tell somebody they lying when you weren't even there.
In a shocking twist, Andria mentions Diddy's mother, and it's not just a casual mention. She hints at some intense and bizarre family dynamics that allegedly went down behind closed doors. Definitely not something you'd expect.
Diddy's mom is really his auntie, has been claiming to be his mom this whole time. She's the one with the white nails. That's why he has that fetish. She's been picking him since he was adolescent, because his daddy got killed when he was a baby. As soon as he had adolescent, he resembled his dad. So she started picking him. She's the one that picked his head up initially. That's why, allegedly. I might be talking, allegedly, that's why he took Kim Porter out, because he has sex with his daughters, allegedly. The twins. The whole family has sex. The same girl I was telling you about, that the Jane Doe, the 11 and 14-year-olds, the same girl he made strap Justin Bieber down, and she had to strap him down while Diddy and two of his sons took turns, and she had to sit there and watch. And Justin Bieber was crying and begging to be let up, and when she went to unloosen him, Diddy socked her in the face in front of Justin Bieber. So we trying to get with Justin, because he would corroborate. Allegedly. Justin, get at me, Justin. We be confidential. We ain't gotta tell the press, nobody. Holler at me, Justin. I'll put y'all together. She was there, you was there. I was already out of it. She told me that story, but Justin, I got you.
Damn. Also, you saying Diddy and Nelly was in bed together?
He's had a threesome with Diddy and Nelly, yes. The same Jane Doe. This Jane Doe was around from 11 years old to about 15 years old. Had bore 2 kids. I'm not gonna say which one she believed are hers, that he's been raising. You know what? On a side note, where is the white girl? Where's the white girl that he adopted?
I got asked about that today earlier in the interview. I think her name is Ava Kung.
Where is she? They said, the twins are staying with one of Kamara's friends, Kim Porter, whoever. The son's been in New York and back and forth to LA. Where's the white girl that they was online bragging and proud that they saved her life and everything? Where is the white girl?
She done disappeared.
Ava. Where's Ava? I'm gonna call her the white girl. Shout out to my white people.
Exactly.
My mom's half white. I love white people. I'm white. It's white in me.
This is definitely one of the craziest interviews I've covered, and there's much more to it, but I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you think there's any truth to this? Remember, none of this is confirmed, and Diddy has not made a statement about these claims. If you want to see the entire interview by the Lionel B Show podcast, I have linked it below.